All right, everyone, welcome to another edition of Matt's Mindset Monday. And we're going to do things a little differently today. I got to go to an amazing leadership conference last week, and it was put on by Keller Williams, and I got to go through Quantum Leap with Gary Keller. And one of the things that kind of impacted me was just the way that he thinks about life in terms of planning and particularly how do you know who you are so that you can accomplish what you want to accomplish? So today's session is going to be a short but hopefully impactful and powerful session where we're going to talk about MVB BP. And a lot of you might be thinking, what is the MVB BP? Well, that is very simply, that is going to be your mission, your values, your vision, your beliefs, and your perspective. And one thing that's really important about knowing these things is it can be really a guide for your life. If you don't have a clear, mission and clear values and clear vision and beliefs and even perspective, then, a lot of times when situations come up, you might not know how to react or how to answer. And it can truly be, like I said, that guiding light, if you will, to take you wherever you want to go. And it doesn't matter if you're just looking to, you're a high school student looking to graduate, or you're the CEO of multiple companies. Being very clear on who you are is a critical step in the path of growth. So we're going to talk about the MVBP, what exactly those things are. We're going to talk about what the 6 key disciplines of life are and how to develop strong habits inside of those. And then, how to be intentional behind the relationships that you have and surrounding yourself with people that are like-minded or key relationship builders in order for you to be able to go to the next level, whatever that level is. So we're going to be, just to summarize, we're going to be clear who we are. We're going to build habits, and then we're going to seek out key people. So the purpose behind this, just to kind of set the stage of this, is one thing that Gary said is you can't have everything, you can't know everything, or you can't do everything. If you do this, then you'll be buried by the weight of everything. So you can't have everything, know everything, or do everything. But once you understand that, then you can choose what you need to have, what you need to know, and what you can do. And I think that's something that is very critical for all of us. So, one example for that is, Gary was on stage and he was talking about playing guitar. And he said, he wanted to become a better guitar player. And he had to get real purposeful behind that because he just didn't have hours upon hours in order to be able to practice guitar. So he hired a coach and dedicated 20 minutes a day and went over and was very focused in his time because he knew he wanted to be a rhythm guitar player. And if he could focus for 20 minutes a day over an extended period of time, he would be able to accomplish what he wanted to. And he ended up forming a band and then won an award for music in Austin for his philanthropy and things like that. So there was a lot that goes in to be able to show that if you get real purposeful and you know who you are and you get purposeful behind your actions, behind things, you can accomplish things even if you don't have a lot of time. Like I said, he was able to learn rhythm guitar in 20 minutes a day. So let's talk about these things and what are they. Very first is the mission. And the mission is very simply, why are you alive? What do you believe in? What do you want to accomplish in this limited time that we have on the earth? And I think that's a great exercise to be able to write out. So to be able to understand, you've heard me talk about your big why before. Well, a mission is very similar to that. It is, your big why is what fuels you. What are you passionate about? And your mission is kind of a spin off this and is the overall lifestyle as a whole. Why are you alive and what are you here for? The next is vision. What the world in your life will look like during and after your mission is accomplished. So, once you establish your mission, then you're going to go on to your vision and look at what are you wanting to accomplish, not only when you're done, but what are you accomplishing while you're going through life. Next is your values. What is important to you and what do you value? These are the things that should be guiding you through your life. So, one thing with our company, and these are in alignment with my values as well, as God, family, and then business. And that's the way that we lead ourselves in this world, is by following those things. And then next is beliefs. So what do you believe in, or what rules will you follow? So based on your values, what do you believe in, and let that be your guiding light. And then finally is perspective. So that's the last P in all of this. And that is how you view yourself and your situation at any given moment. And when you look at and you break down in that order, the mission, the vision, the values, the beliefs, and the perspective, it can really be that guiding principle of not only, who you are as a person, but where do you want to go, and let that be the driver and the motivator that helps get you there. So, I think that was really important. And one thing that I did as part of this exercise, as you will, is I just wrote out some questions, and I wanted to pass those questions along to you as in case it helps, is what's your mission? Then are you living it? Are you examining it? Meaning, are you going back and reviewing your life and seeing if you truly are living it? And then are you being purposeful around your mission and who you are? And one thing I did when I was writing out the mission is, one of my things that I really am passionate about and I wanted to do was to help people overcome self-doubt in order to become the best version of themselves. And I just started asking myself why over and over again until I got to what I feel like is a very strong mission, because my mission has changed a lot in the last 2 to 3 years. So, my first question was why is, too many people never live up to their full potential. And it's why, because they have a limiting belief around who they can be and or what they can accomplish. And I put in parentheses mindset. And then why, and it's because self-doubt, your environment, being okay with being okay sometimes and not striving for greatness has an effect. And part of it is what I truly believe that we're kind of taught that as from a young age, that it's okay to just kind of be okay, I guess is a better word. And we're not always taught to become the best version of ourselves. And that's something that I hope to try to change, which is why I put these types of videos together on here. And then then I asked why again. And it was like, because no one's teaching them who you can be, or that you can do anything you want, and that there are no limits in life. And then I just wrote some side questions like, when should this start in life? And is it ever too late to start those things? And then I asked, well, why is that? And it's because they don't have access to learn, or they're not willing to learn, or they don't believe that they can learn. And understand, when they say they, a lot of times I'm just reflecting back on my life. And when I was younger, through child and even, early adulthood, these are the questions that, like, when I reflect back and ask these, this is just a reflection of me. So when I say they or them or whatever, part of it is I also. And this is why I consider myself a late bloomer in life, because it took me a long time to realize some of these things. And then my final why is no one is reaching out to them to show them how to be the best version of themselves. And, what I ultimately ended up deciding is I took all that initial statement, which was just a gut feeling of what I wanted, asked why 5 times. And then I was able to develop this mission statement, which is my new mission statement moving forward, is to teach people the mindset, habits, and skills needed to become the best version of themselves. So I just wanted to pass along an example of that exercise so that you can see kind of what that would be like and how you can work through that in order to be able to develop a mission. Then once you develop the mission, then the next project would be to go through and do the same thing for your vision and, state what's the world look like while you're doing your mission or after your mission's over, and then how and why 5 different times until you develop that to a really strong vision statement. Same thing with values. Okay, based on my mission and my vision, what is it that I truly value? What is important to me? And write out your values. It could be, integrity. It could be hardworking. It can be a number of different things. That's completely up to you. Write those things out. And then based on your values, now you can develop your beliefs. So what do I believe in, and what rules, what guiding principles will I use in order to be able to follow my life? And then finally is your perspective. And this is just all about how you view yourself and your situation at any given moment. And something that I've learned and studied a lot on is that I truly believe if a lot of us want to help other people. And the one thing that I've learned is, in order to help others, we have to start by helping ourselves. And I think that the mission, the values, the beliefs, the vision, I got out of order, the beliefs, the perspectives, things like that. That is really pouring into ourselves, because we might identify something about ourselves that we might feel like we need to work on. And once we work on that and we figure out, what really helped us, then let's share that with the world. And by sharing that with the world, then my hope is that, one person at a time or one group at a time, then we're able to make impact. And all of a sudden somebody else is the best version of themselves, and they go teach somebody else, and then they go teach somebody else. So by impacting 5 lives, you can actually impact 5,000 lives or 5 million lives, because each person's going to continue the impact from there. So it's all about how do we take a glob, if you will, and align it, and just come from a place of self reflection, self improvement. And then if we find something that works, like, let's share that with each other and share that with this group. That's what I built this group for. That's why it's called Club Growth, and that's why this show's called Matt's Mindset Monday. It's really all about who can we pour into, or who can pour into us, so that we can be the best version of ourselves in order to help others. And in turn, we all get better as a really big community. So if you want to focus on self-improvement, or improving a group, or if you run a business, improving your business, or, even just a friend group or a club group or a church group or anything like that, look into developing the mission, the vision, the values, the beliefs, and the perspectives, because I think that can be a real guiding light in order to, help people find out who they are, and then to ultimately help themselves as well. So that's the big thing that I wanted to hit on today. I'm also, every once in a while, I'm going to start doing just solo ones. And the one thing we're going to look at is like the 6 personal perspectives. We're also going to look at, and I'm going to touch base today on the 6 life discipline areas, but I'm going to do another episode about this later on, that I can take, a deeper dive, if you will. And that is the 6 areas that have been identified that if we develop really good habits in, we can live, any type of life that we want. And that is the habits of self-discipline, the habits of spiritual discipline, the habits of physical discipline, also time discipline, and money discipline, and then finally growth discipline. So we're going to take a deeper dive into those things, as well as relationships, in the near future. But I wanted to leave you today with the MVBP, and I would hope that all of you will take this and run with it and kind of develop those things. And if you need any help, because I know when I first went through this exercise 3, 4, 5 years ago, it was really, it took me a while to develop the mission. It took me a while to develop the vision, and so on and so forth. Now it's like I'm reviewing and adjusting, and then just proving, is this the path that I'm on, and am I in the right direction? So I wanted to leave that with you all today. Again, it's going to be a little bit of a short one. We're going to do 15 minutes, but don't worry, I'm going to have this out on the podcast by tomorrow, and we'll be able to recap some of these areas. And as always, stay growing. And if there's anything I can do to help you, please let me know. I hope y'all have a great week, and we'll do it again next week. And I got a really special guest coming on next week. So I'll see y'all then.